Hello. I'm going to be doing a quick review on coordinates and how we relate them to this thing over here, which is the coordinate plane. So previously in prior math classes, you should have been introduced to the concept of a number line, which is essentially a line that represents numbers. We have arrows on each side of this because it's indicating that it's just continuing on in that direction infinitely, which means just it will not end. But what we represent with this line is a section of numbers. And normally, centered at the middle, we put a line here to denote 0. And numbers to the right are going to be positive numbers, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, and every time we go up a tick mark, we go up a number. And as we go to the left, we're going to go down a number into the negative numbers. We have -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So on the coordinate plane over here, we have two of these, and they're oriented, pointing in opposite directions, or perpendicular to each other, as they intersect at a 90-degree angle. So we denote the axis that goes to the left and right as the x-axis, and we denote the axis that goes up and down as the y-axis. It may be helpful to think about the x-axis as just, left and right, and the y-axis is up and down, and you can think about that as like height, or how high up something is or how low it is. These analogies are really helpful when we're thinking about abstract things like numbers. So on the number line here, if I wanted to represent the number 3, I would go and put a dot over the mark for 3. But since we have two of these axes over here, we have to use two numbers to represent a point. So I'm going to put a couple of points on here, and we're going to go through and look at a couple of examples of how they are represented. So this number over here we could said was just represented by 3, but now we need two numbers. So we group these numbers within parentheses, and we write the left and right number. And when I say by left and right, I'm talking about the direction for x. We write that one first, and then we separate the second number by a comma, and then we do the up and down, which is the y. Okay, so how do we represent these points? Let's do a quick exercise. Remember, we go left and right first. We're going to look at the blue point. And remember, we always write these in parentheses. We're going to separate the numbers by a comma. And now we just need to look here. So we go left and right first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have to look at how far we go up. So we're going to go up 1 and 2. So we can see that this blue dot lines up with the 2 on the up and down axis, the y-axis, and a 5 on the left and right. The red dot here, if we want to write that, remember we always set up our parentheses, and then we need to figure out the x-coordinate first, so we're just going to start at 0, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Right, we can see that it lines up nicely with that 3, so that's our x-coordinate. And then the y-coordinate, now you could just start at the dot and kind of project, draw a line over. You don't have to physically draw it. After you do this for a while, you should be able to kind of just follow it along with your eyes, but it's totally okay to draw the line at first. So we see that lines up with 3 on the y. So the red dot, we would say, is 3, 3. And then we'll need to go ahead and figure out what the green one is. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We have to start at 0, But now we're going to go to the left. Right, so we can look at the corresponding number here, but it's good to understand that if we're going to the left on here, we're getting into smaller numbers, and once we go past 0, we are going to the negative number. So this green dot is going to be represented by, we draw our parentheses, -2 for our x coordinate, write a comma, and then we go up to 1 for our y coordinate.